gonna be real with you. In the past, I have felt like I've built myself a prison rather than a business that makes me happy. I know that sounds super dramatic comparing it to a prison. To be honest, I don't think I am alone. In fact, many people out there start businesses because they have a certain dream that they want to achieve, whether it be to reduce the total number of hours they work each week, whether it be to increase their impact on the world, whether it be to gain more freedom and independence. And so the last thing we want is to feel like we're actually chained to our businesses because it's something that we built. You know, we can't even blame anybody other than ourselves. And today I want to share with you what I have done since in order to really build a business that suits my lifestyle. It suits me. I am the leader of my business. In order for me to lead in the best way possible, I need to be at my best. And I'm not at my best if I'm feeling like my work is dragging me down, it's mentally draining, I'm doing work I don't like, and worst of all, everything just feels like work. You know, you didn't leave your pharmacy career just to find another job, Lisa. These days, as you probably know, I work on average 25-hour weeks. I run two businesses. First is Lisa Study Guides, my private tutoring business, which has over 35 tutors on our team, 200 students that we look after each year. We have published over 30 study guides, which are used by teachers and students all over the world. And I also have Tutor Boss, which is where I'm coaching other tutors to start their own tutoring companies. My businesses generate me multiples upper six figures each year. I do this while having the 25-hour work weeks so that I actually have time for other areas of my life that I'm really loving. For example, traveling, spending time with friends, spending time with family, working on my self-development, exercising. And so I want this for you too. And so for today's video, I'm going to share how you can achieve this for yourself by analyzing your values. So today we'll cover 1, what are values and why are they important in helping you shape your business lifestyle? 2, having synergy between your personal values and those of your business. 3, knowing what your values are and standing by them means that you're going to make more informed business decisions. And 4, having the flexibility to change course when your values change themselves. 5, what happens when your values change and therefore how does that impact your business? You might think that talking about values is a super fluffy approach, but actually it's something that I worked with my psychologist to really help me understand why I was hating my business at the time and how I could transform it to a place where I actually started to re-enjoy my business again. So your values are basically your core beliefs, deep down inside you, nobody else, things that you consider to be truly important to you. When we start living a life aligned with these values, you're going to see your satisfaction and quality of life improve dramatically. So to share with you my own examples, one of my top values is freedom. And this makes sense because I hated feeling confined when I worked 9 to 5 in the pharmacy world. But I love the routine I have in my work because I'm able to wake up when I want to, I can start work when I want to, I can work for as long as I want, and then be done with it when I want. So that freedom is something that I absolutely love and crave. If I were to impose 9 to 5 on myself, I would absolutely hate that. That would be not why I started this business. By having freedom, it means that I can duck out in the middle of the day to go to the gym. I can duck out to have lunch with a friend for an hour or 2 hours. There is no deadline for it. And that's what just makes me thrive and makes me so happy so that when I actually do come to doing the work, I'm really there. I'm really present. Whereas I know if it was 9 to 5, oh my gosh, what a drag that would be. And I would not be productive for all those hours either. Another value that I have is independence. I really disliked having a boss to check things with. I much prefer just going about it my own way and being a leader instead. So it made sense for me to actually become a business owner. Now, if you're not sure what your values are, you can jump online and just type in values and you'll see a whole list of them. At first, it might feel a little bit contrived because you can probably just circle a whole bunch that you think are most important for you. But if you sit on it for long enough and you start reflecting week after week, month after month about what your values are, they're going to start to really shine through for you. I would absolutely love to read your values as well, so make sure you write them down in the comment section below. So when I first started Tutor Boss, my tutor coaching business, one of the first things I did was actually write down my vision for the business and also the values of the business. I actually created these values based on my own personal values because I knew that I wanted to create a business that I was proud of. One of the first ones is let's be real. I wrote our community vibes with authenticity, openness, and transparency because we know that this means that we can trust one another. So for me personally, I really value people sharing their honest, real stories, not just the highlights of their life, but also the lowlights, the times when they're really challenging. And that's why on this channel, I've talked so much about how I've hated my business, how I've been burnt out, all the mistakes I've made, because I think that a lot of the times business life is romanticized. I don't think people address the fact that business can be really hard enough. So let's be real is a manifestation of my personal value in my business. This means that there is complete synergy between my personal life and my business life, making me very happy and making this business very healthy for me. In business, there are so many competing factors for you to balance. There's obviously the financial element to make sure that you're moving in the right direction monetarily. Then there's the scaling component. How fast are you growing? And then there's also the mission of your business and how you want it to impact the world. It's a lot to consider, right? But for example, if we take the financial side, if I'm evaluating what our financial targets will be for the year, I want to make sure that it doesn't compromise on my own values. So yes, the idea of growing aggressively and making so much more money in the next year, of course it's going to be exciting. Who's going to say no to that, right? But actually, I did say no to that because I recognize that in order for us to grow that aggressively, to make that much more money, it would then also require me to put in a lot of work. And after so many years in business, I know how much is enough for me. And I've come to understand that although sometimes I feel terrible when I'm looking at other people who made 6 figures in 90 days or they've hit $1 million in sales in a year. I'm sure you've seen those people too online flaunt their success. But simultaneously, I understand for me that actually more conservative, slower year-on-year growth is what's most aligned with my own lifestyle. I am not here to work from early hours of the morning all the way through to the night where I'm sacrificing time away from my loved ones. I didn't build this business just so that I could be stuck at the computer. And I didn't build this business so that I would be burnt out all the time. That's why I think values are so enlightening because yeah, heck, I would love to make an extra several $100,000 more next year, millions of dollars more next year. But am I actually up for it? I don't think so. And I'm okay with that now because I know that ultimately that brings me a lot of peace. And that means that I'm really living a life and operating a business that's aligned with my lifestyle. When you recognize what your values are, your idea of business success may change. Previously for me, because I didn't know what my values are, I would strive for more money and that was how I determined my self-worth. Let's not even go there. That is what my psyche is for. But that was how I tied my whole identity to how much I was making. But that's just not healthy because I can't just keep putting that pressure on myself to constantly making more and more and more and never being happy with how much I have, which I have a lot to be happy for and I have a lot to be grateful for. So now I understand that business success to me is working the hours I want to work, doing the work that I want to do, having time outside of my business to do the things I love. It's as simple as that. What happens if your values change over the course of time? Because they will change, and that is completely okay. Using that example before, my values in the past were achievement. I needed to constantly achieve more and more and more because I was never satisfied with how much I had achieved. And that's coming from somebody who scored in the top 2% of my English subject when I was in high school, who then went on to be a pharmacist, who then went on to build her own business and win awards for it, who then went on to do a TEDx talk as well. And so I was getting really tired of myself. I was getting sick of it. How could I keep one-upping myself and pushing myself onwards and upwards and upwards? I'm tired talking about it now. And so when you look at my values now, including freedom, independence, another core one I have is actually inner peace. How do I make decisions that make me at peace with myself? If I'm going to strive to make $1 million next year, yeah, I could go for that. But actually, I think deep down that would make me quite anxious because I know that I need to put in a lot more effort into my work, and that's just not where I'm currently at the moment. Perhaps in the future it may be, but for now I'm very happy to let Lisa Study Guides run in the background. I'm growing Tutor Boss slowly but surely, and I'm so happy with the clients I'm working with at the moment. And to be honest, I am loving my life right now. My partner and I just bought a house that we've moved into. Like, all my dreams are coming true, and I just really want to savor what I'm experiencing. If you like my approach to business, then I think you may enjoy my free masterclass. If you're a tutor business owner, then this is for you. It's called the 3-Step Framework to a 6-Figure Tutoring Business, and I teach you the 3 common mistakes tutors make, how they can avoid it, and what they should be doing instead. So I've shared with you one big mistake that I made in my business career so far with my misalignment of values, and therefore I hated my business, but I share with you a lot more mistakes that I made in that masterclass. So if you're interested in watching it, I'll put up the link for you. And if you're interested in coaching with me, then I'll put a few resources for you in the description below too, so you can get in touch. If you watched all the way until the end of this video, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for sticking with me all the way here. Please leave a comment saying evolve, because you and I are evolving together. I hope you have learned a lot from me today, and I know that I'm going to continue sharing my story with you and journey so that I can impart any of my knowledge onwards. I will see you guys next week. Bye!